So I'm going to cover basically what the chatbot world is, just kind of educate you guys a little about what bots are, what is a bot, to bot or not to bot, what kind of best chatbot strategies you guys can use, what are the different channels, and how speech and text are becoming the quintessential chatbot platform and chatbot channels. So what is a chatbot? Chatbots are essentially robots across chat, email, that are able to provide 365, 24/7 customer service, customer contact to your customers, right? I mean, the end goal is to, any kind of digital transformation starts and ends with customers. You want to provide a channel that is available to your customers, and this is an era of digital colleagues. So what we're doing is, what we're helping our customers with is providing this AI-trained, full-scale email, chat, speech, and text. So the more channels you can cover, the more you can get closer to your customers. You're 24/7. So one of the biggest things with chatbots that really helps us, they're 24/7, they're 365, they don't take sick days off, they don't need any benefits, and they're predictable. They don't wake up in the morning on the wrong side of the bed and say, hey, I'm not going to have a good day with your customers today, right? They're always there, they are trained. And one of the things that people are not really understanding with their chatbot strategy these days is there's a lot of platforms that are out there that help you just put up a quick chatbot. It's very easy to put up a chatbot. I mean, there's these free platforms available where you can go, you can log in, you can sign in using your Facebook ID or your Google ID, and you can set up a chatbot. But what I feel, what people are missing right now is where we are in the chatbot AI space is where we were in the mobile space back in 2010, when people were talking, do I need a mobile app? Do I need a mobile website? Do I need to have a mobile strategy? In 2019, that's not even a question. The question today is that, what is my mobile strategy? How can I make my mobile strategy more effective? And a lot of people right now in this whole AI space are in a very similar frame. Like, do we need a chatbot? Do we need AI engagement? Do we need that? The point is not do you need it, but the point is how effective can you make it? How can you make it more effective? How can you make it more engaging? And what are the different use cases you can cover with, right? It's easy to put up a chatbot, but it's useless if it's not giving your customers the right answers, if you're not covering the right use cases. So, I mean, some of the use cases which are really common and which can make your chatbot effective both for customer engagement and ROI is straight up lead engagement for sales, right? You have a live agent available 24/7 on your website, educating your customers about your products, answering any queries that they have. And now you're capturing this data in text format, which in the past you were capturing clicks on Telium or any other tool that you were using. Now you actually have inquiries that people are typing in on your website, and you know what the products they are looking for, and it's getting integrated directly with your CRM. So real-time integrations with your CRM is very important. And then having the combo strategy, not just have chat, but have an email bot that does follow-ups on those conversations. If somebody was looking for something, don't let that conversation end once the customer stops responding. Capture that data, have an email bot, or transfer it over to a live agent who can then follow up and make sure that that lead converts into a sale. So, moving on. Customer support, very important. I mean, one of the biggest benefits that we get with chatbots is that a bot is integrated with multiple databases. So it's not like, one thing that's really annoying when you call, I mean, when somebody tells me that I have to give a call to, like, let's say AT&T and figure out something, that's the worst thing that I have to do, because I know I'm going to sit there, wait for an agent to be available, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, then the agent comes on, asks me all the background about what my issue is, and then they say, oh, I'm going to have to pass you on to another partner or somebody else, and then I'm again waiting for the next agent to be available, and then I have to give my whole history and background again. What's beautiful here is it's 24/7, it's 365, it's not 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There are no issues with the accents. They don't have issues understanding accents or giving accents. And it's connected to all your databases. So whether it's a product delivery issue, if they're not happy with the product that they received, if it was damaged, or if they want a refund, it is connected to all those databases. So the same bot that is giving your customers product information can also do your customer services. It is connected to your database. It is going to provide them instant redemption. They're going to get all their answers in real time. And if needed, it can also pass that customer on to a live agent when that live agent is available, so that the customer is not waiting endlessly for someone to be available. Let's say you have had a big launch and you have like hundreds of people come to your website wanting to chat with your customer agents, and then they have to wait for somebody to be available. So it scales up your customer service instantly. It's 24/7, it's 365, it's predictable. But what is really important throughout this process is keeping your bot ready to handle those customers. Like I said when we started, was it's easy to get a bot up there, but it's not that easy to keep it going. It's not easy to keep those people happy that came to your bot. If the bot didn't answer their question in 3 goes, they're never going to use that bot again. They're never going to come to your website and hit that button ever again. They'll be like, I'd rather call somebody, or I'd rather search on this website than go back to that bot, because it just gives me the same answers over and over again. And that's what is happening with a lot of bots, is that there's just these buttons available, you can't really ask them questions, and it's a very disappointing experience. I'm like, no, I don't want to know those things. I have a question. Can I ask a question? And then you ask a question, and if the response is, sorry, I don't know the answer, please try something else, that's it. You've lost that customer's engagement right away. They're never going to come back to the bot. So that's why it's very important to keep your chatbots up to date, keep them trained, have a platform or a tool that is monitoring all the questions that are coming in that did not get responded in time. What were those questions, and have a way to train them instantly. It's equally important to have a chatbot training team as it is to have a chatbot. That's very important. So as I said, chatbots, let them do the grunt work, still have live agents. I'm not saying that don't have live agents at all. If you have a huge customer services side of things, have live agents, let chatbots do the grunt work. Don't have them answer silly questions like what time does the store open? What is the price of this product? Don't have them answer those questions. Let the bot answer those questions. When the questions get complicated, transfer them over to a live agent. At that point, you can engage live agent. The bot can automatically transfer them over to a live agent. The customer didn't have to wait. All their basic questions were answered by the bot. But once it gets complicated, once it started looking like this is an actual prospect or a lead, let an agent take over, and then let the agent hand it over back to the bot so that the bot can close the conversation, set up the follow-up steps, and keep the ball rolling, right? Some of the training tips, try not to give ambiguous patterns, don't have multiple fallback responses, because AI is a great word, but it's all about rules and training, no matter how fancy it sounds, no matter how much we sound AI is like, going to take over the world, it is still very supervised. So make sure that you have multiple fallbacks. If the person gets the same response every time the bot doesn't know the question, it gets really annoying. So have different fallbacks that kind of go round robin and make it more conversational, make it more fun, so that it doesn't become annoying. Okay, you didn't know this answer, but why do you keep saying the same thing over and over again? Say something else, right? Make sure that the bot is not just trained for general FAQs. Obviously, have it trained for general FAQs, not just like the real use cases. Have like some kind of FAQ engine trained into the bot. Maybe just have like a scrape off the website, let the user scrape the website, whoever's training your bot, and make sure it has all the answers. Make sure it has really cool location-based responses, so that it becomes more effective. People can click on it and see exactly what's going on. So if I'm asking about everything that you probably did with your mobile strategy is very similar with the bot strategy. Make it as much more, engaging, make it as much more, effective by adding things like that, especially on Messenger, because the Messenger is available on the mobile apps, and people have the Messenger bots available on their apps. So for the Messenger strategy, having location-based responses are super cool. We have a client, a construction client, who wanted to only give products that are available in those locations. So they're having users enter their zip code when they come to their website. The bot automatically recognizes which API does the bot need to integrate with to respond to these users. So that is very important. Having API integration with your products, with everything. Don't just have static responses. Make sure the responses are real time, because static responses are annoying. So make sure you have APIs integrated. I covered this a little bit earlier. The reason I'm running fast is because I've been told I only have about 15 minutes. So, and I think I'm about 5 minutes to that. So have a live agent strategy integrated with whatever bot platform you use. Make sure it's seamless for the bot to transfer the conversation over to a live agent. So if there's a complex question, if this is a hot lead, a hot prospect that's asking buying questions on the website via the bot, have the bot trained in a way that it instantly transfer it over to a live agent, or at least ping the live agent that we have a really hot prospect on the website who's asking buying questions, take over the conversation. So that's very important. And this can be done based on multiple things. There's a confidence score that the bot tracks. If the bot feels that bot has lesser confidence, it can hand over the lead. There's intent detection based on the keywords that the user is typing. Make sure that you have those intents trained that you want it to transfer over to the real user. Natural language processing, it's a really cool world, but again, it's all rules. And basically there's two key entities the bot needs to understand is intent. What is the user's intent? So have as many intents trained. Intent is basically trying to understand what the end user's intention is, right? A really easy example for this would be, let's say you are trying to order a pizza with a bot, and there could be two statements that will sound very similar, but we'll see how the bot understands that. So I could say, I'm looking to buy, cheese and pepperoni, thin crust pizza delivered to my home, right? So now here the intention of the user is a buying intent. So the bot will pull up the buying intent, and then it will give that flow where it will give them, when you want to deliver it and size and everything. So those are the questions that will pop up. Now there could be another question, that could be, I'm waiting for my thin crust cheese and pepperoni pizza to be delivered to my home. And this is a delivery intent, and the bot needs to understand that this person is not trying to buy the pizza, he's already bought the pizza, but now this person wants to know when the pizza will be delivered. So that's very important to have these intents very well defined so that the bot is able to understand what the user is trying to do with them. Because that's where the bot really starts becoming like a live agent and starts handling multiple, open-ended queries. So natural language processing is mainly for open-ended queries, like when people literally just ask a question instead of typing buttons or pressing buttons. When people ask a question, so it's very important to have these very well trained. Make sure you're collecting feedback so that you can see how people went back happy from the bot or not. It's very important to have an effective way of collecting bot feedback. So at the end of the conversation, make sure you ask them, was I able to help you out? Was your experience good or not? And make sure that the chatbot platform that you're using has these analytic metrics that you can easily go back and see how many people went back happy, who were the customers who were not happy, what were the questions that these people asked, how can you make that better for the next time. So that's again very important. This is a funny one. So one of our customers is a large shopping mall in the UK. It's the Bullring Mall, and we learned a lot about people's personalities and stuff. So when you see live chat, people don't really always realize that this is a bot or a robot, and they can ask any kind of questions. People ask weather questions, people ask sports questions, people ask questions like, I'm lonely. So make sure you have small talk, and some kind of small talk built into. We also go to the level of even integrating things like Wikipedia, because people can ask like, who was the first president or anything. So if they get a response, it just makes it happier. It just makes an end customer more happy. So as much, random small talk that you can train, you will see a lot of people asking. The goal is to make the bot unbreakable and untrollable. So you don't want people to end up trolling the bot. You don't want them to keep breaking the bots. The more small talk and everything you can have on the bot, it only helps with the overall experience. Like I said, sense of humor helps keep them happy. We did a bot for Comic-Con where questions were like, who's your favorite superhero, Batman or Superman? And I was one of the trainers, so it was obviously Batman. So this is really important. This is a really important statistic. 70% of customers prefer self-service when looking for customer support. And that's a really cool stat, because when you go to at least when I go to a website and I'm just looking for something and then it says live chat and then I have to wait for an agent, sometimes it's intimidating because I'm like, okay, now I have to talk to this person and this person is probably going to try and sell something to me. When I know it's like a robot, it's self-service, I can find out what I'm looking for, I'm going to get all the responses directly. It makes it that much more easier for me to engage with it. That I don't have any commitments to it. I don't have to worry about what this person's thinking, whether I'm going to actually buy anything. If I'm inquiring about a product, that person's done a good job, and then I'm like, hey, I'm not really going to buy it right now. I don't want to have that guilt on me. So when it's self-service, I don't care. Bot doesn't have any feelings. I know it's a bot. I can go. I can get all the information. You're capturing all that data. You can use it for remarketing as well. And what else do we have? Yeah, I think we're running out of time, so if you guys have any questions, you can ask me now. We're at booth number 1, right at the entrance. So if you want to learn more about chatbots and AI technology, how you can go cross-platform, across web, text, social, as well as speech, you can come to our booth. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. We have a networking break. Please take advantage of it. Log into your